Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Hello? Did that play for you guys? Because I'm not sure what happened with the intro there, because it played out of my speakers instead of my headphones, which is what it's supposed to do. And it didn't do that. Anyway, another thing that was supposed to happen but didn't was the Canucks winning! Because that also didn't happen. Hi. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Game Over, Vancouver. I am your host tonight, Kaja Mae, and I am really excited to talk about the Canucks' first point of the season! Yay! Sure, we got an L, but there's an OT in front of that L, which means we get 1 point. Intro, okay, awesome! Cool, was not sure. We got a point. But before we dive into that, I need to do a quick little thing to thank our sponsors. Wanna bet? You can do it at Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook. Football continues, the World Series is around the corner, and they have dropped the puck on the hockey season. Bet pre-game, live in play, or on one of our many prop bets. Made for Canadians by Canadians, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Head into sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Ontario only, 18 plus, please play responsibly. Alright. Bo looked good. Miller is invisible. Well, I mean, Bo got 2 goals. So that's pretty good. He had 2 goals, and I also have another stat from the Stat Center, which is TSN's stats thing. He just looked lost out there. Yeah, I don't know. I try to like Miller, considering we gave him $56 million. Miller was just standing around in OT if you watch it back. Yeah, I did. Just before I started the stream, I watched it back a bit, and I was like, oh. So that's fun. That's a thing that happened. And with the turnover that happened, Hughes was giving the most effort. Horvat, he just wasn't fast enough to get there. Which, I don't know. He's old, according to Canucks fans, so. And then Hogs with the he tried. He's trying his best. I don't know. It's kind of sus. Yeah, it's kind of sus. Need Louis back. A little different. Louis Erikson's a little bit different. Anyway, back to Bo Horvat. Let's talk about good things for the few that they were this game. Bo Horvat, he has now 20 career multi-goal games with the Canucks, and he is now tied for 3rd with Patrick Sundstrom with most career multi-goal games recorded by a center in the franchise. So that's decent. Horvat gambled and lost. Yeah, I don't know. He was trying, but this wasn't. You try your best, but you don't succeed. You know, I got 73 on a midterm. Did I try? Kind of. But yeah, you know. 78 3-1 record. Let's go. Yes! That's the spirit we need to go in. We need to go in 78 3-1. You know, it's just downhill, but we're gonna be right back up at the top. I don't know who's in first place right now, but I don't know. We need to at least get higher than Montreal, because they're at like 16th, which I find really funny. But yeah, so Bo's now tied for 3rd behind Thomas Gradin and Ryan Kessler. Obviously Ryan Kessler's on there. Bo upped his trade value. That's certainly a position to have. I'm running with the opinion that Bo is going to, if the Canucks aren't in a playoff spot, Bo's getting traded by the deadline. If the Canucks are, they're keeping him, they'll try to work something out, but most likely he'll walk. That's where I'm at right now. That's my opinion on what's going to happen right now. Anyway, big story for tonight. We got a point. Not like our best effort, but we got a point out of it. Yeah, it's a pity point. Whatever. You know. But it. Hi SDPN. Hi Kaja. I'm Kaja. Anyway, so I really liked this tweet. It was from Sam, another one of our wonderful co-hosts. It was a tweet replying to Ian Kennedy, who said, "Overtime looks like neither of these winless teams wants to win." And then Sam, she just goes, "They each just wanted to get out of 0 points." And I feel like that was the vibes. John Wilkes Booth's last leg. Yeah, I don't know. It's the last time, according to what Sportsnet played, the last time the Canucks won an OT against Columbus was March 31st, 2018, and the goal was Brandon Sutter to Alexander Edler, both of whom are not with the team anymore. So they played that before the overtime happened. I was like, oh, this is gonna go great then. This is gonna be amazing. I saw them lose in overtime to Columbus once, 4-3. I was like 14. I still remember it was like December 18th, 2016. We lost 4-3 to Columbus. How can the Canucks not hold a lead? I don't know. We're kind of turning into the Leafs, and I'm a little afraid of that, because, like, we don't have the history of that. Like, I get it, 1967. But, like, at least they won something. At all. Apparently the last time, because I, for one, love the Canucks broadcasting team, it was mentioned that the last time the Canucks started 0-3, they earned 103 points. And the Canucks have never started 0-4 in a season. Now, I don't know if you want to personally count this as 0-4 or 0-3-1. I'm saying 0-3-1 because we pushed it to overtime. And we had a good shot with the Patterson breakaway. Or what? It was a 2-on-1, but I don't remember who it was with. I think it was Mikheyev, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I was more focused on the fact that next to was a 3-on-0, and then Werenski missed the net. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Big story of the game going in was that Tyler Myers and Ilya Mikheyev were activated off of injury reserve, and Tucker Poolman returned in the game, which was good. Another interesting thought, I was just getting to that, yeah. Garland and Burrows getting scratched for the game, or Burrows presumably scratched. Garland's scratch was apparently a coach's decision, which, I mean, I don't know, doesn't really sit right with me. You know, if Columbus, in my view, is a bunch of slippery little guys. Like, that's just how they played. That's how they played tonight. That's how they always play. And especially with adding Johnny Gaudreau in there, which I always completely forget that they added Johnny Gaudreau, even though, like, I don't know, he was pretty good for the Flames last year. Pretty good. He was, like, their best player. Anyway, Columbus is a bunch of slippery little guys. Garland, he himself, is a slippery little guy. Garland would have fit right in against Columbus, and they scratch him. And I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. Like, I get it, you need to get everyone out there and stuff, but could you not just keep Garland in? Should have scratched Hogland first. Honestly, okay. I'm going to say I advocate for rookies and, you know, giving them, you know, chances and stuff. But yeah, Garland would have been more effective than Hoglander, especially in that overtime. Especially there, especially with the weird giveaway situation that happened in front of the Columbus net, which resulted in, you know, Columbus winning the game. Burrows, I thought it was interesting because it could be, you know, a maintenance day. Or, you know, he might be injured because if you saw the game last night, Evgeny Kuznetsov tried to decapitate him and got a 1-game suspension. I love NHL player safety. They're so good. They're so amazing with what they do. Like, I love them so much. I love, Jesus Christ. Anyway, May knows us to keep Joshua in over Garland. Yeah, I didn't notice Joshua out there a lot. Okay, I understand Joshua's, like, from there, I believe. And his parents were in the audience, like, they showed him on the broadcast, and they had a whole story about him. But, yeah, I don't know, he got hit, and then another note that I'll bring back up, because I want to talk about kind of what they were calling tonight in the second part of the show. I want to talk about is, like, Joshua got taken down against the boards, and then Lazar came to back him up, and then Lazar gets the penalty. And, yeah. It's just an interesting game. And it's another multi-goal lead that we had. And we lost it. A deliberate slash to the face is equal to missing the All-Star game. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, I don't know. The NHL Department of Player Safety is the worst at the best of times, is my view of it. But yeah, Myers was solid tonight. Like, I know people like to make fun of Myers, like, oh, chaos giraffe, whatever. But I, personally, he was one of our, like, I thought he was one of the best defensemen on the ice tonight, especially for us. Because there were two specifically, overall, love Tyler Myers. Another thing, he did, at one point, Tanner Pearson gave it away for the second time in, I think, about 3 minutes. Did I say Tyler Pearson or Tanner Pearson? I may have said. Yeah, Myers stabilized a lot. Another thing, yeah, so Tanner Pearson gives away the puck for the second time in, like, 3 minutes or whatever. And this is in the third period. And yeah, so he gives it away in the Vancouver zone, and Myers has to be the one, because the puck goes behind Spencer Martin, and Myers has to be the one to bat it down so that Columbus doesn't make it 4-3 before regulation's even over. Yes, they made it 4-3 in the end, but also Tyler Myers prevented it from yes. Tyler Myers' stick batting baseball skills. Yes, he prevented it from doing that. Another thing that happened was later in overtime, he did have a really cool deflection because he has very long arms. Because he's a very long human. He's a very lengthy individual. Like, so I'm on the taller side I'm like around average height for, I guess, a woman. And I'm 5'7". He is over a foot taller than me. Putting McKay up there on the first line of OT was the strangest coaching move I've ever seen. I don't know. I feel like, okay, I'm gonna assume you're a Leafs fan, because that's your profile picture on YouTube. But that's the thing, is, like, for the Leafs line on OT, they would put, like, Matthews and stuff. Yeah, we don't have an Austin Matthews yet. Yeah, we need speed, especially in overtime, because the Canucks don't know how to cover during 3-on-3. Like, that's been one of their issues for years. I remember that was an issue the second game I went to. We lost in overtime to Buffalo. And it was 40 seconds in because the Canucks couldn't get back, I think. Yeah. Not playing Bo like Columbus played Jenner was weird to me. I noticed them mentioning that, like Jenner coming out for face-offs and then just immediately leaving. I feel like that would have worked had we had Connor Garland as well. Because Garland adds speed, whereas Horvat, they need him out for, like, defense, or whatever, I guess. Except Hughes was there. You're at the game? Yeah! Hughes should not have dove head first. He looked so sad after that. Matthews and Martin would be Miller, Pettersson. Okay. Um, yeah. I don't know. I have Matthews and Pettersson back there, actually. I have pop figures. But, anyway. Also, power play 3, only way we got through that without a goal was Merzlikins standing on his head. Like, kudos to him. I really like Spencer Martin's pads. They were pretty cool. But yeah, Mikheyev added speed tonight, and also that awesome chance before the shorthanded goal was scored with the 2-on-1 with Petey and Bo. 3-on-0 and Martin won on like Markstrom. Fair enough. But Mikheyev had that really good chance on the PK with Miller before the shorthanded goal made it 1-0. And yes, also congratulations to Elias Pettersson for reaching his 100th career NHL goal. Love that for him. He's also the second fastest to ever reach that milestone in Canucks franchise history. First, obviously, being Pavel Bure, because that man was insane. How do you feel about special teams today? Oh my god. We are going to go back to the era of having a bad power play, because not once did we convert one. And yes, we had a lot less than we did the last time. Like, I remember when I was making the game notes for the Edmonton game, I had like PP1, PP8. Like, it just kept going. Like, eventually I gave up and I was like, okay, they're not going to score here. They're not going to score. That's just going to happen. Like, I don't know. It hurts sometimes watching this team. It just hurts. It's pain. It's painful. I love this team with my whole heart. But 1 point is more than 0. Exactly. 1 point is more than 0. We got a shorthand goal. We only got 5 shorthanded goals last year. And also Horvat and Petey were the 2 that got most of the shorthanded goals last year. Pettersson had 2 and Horvat had 1. And we had 5 total. So they had 3 of those. Yeah. Bo is now 14th as well amongst all-time Canucks goal scorers, which is pretty cool. PK felt a bit better. Yes, that was because we have Myers and Mikheyev back for that. And yeah, I don't know. Myers and Mikheyev being back, I guess Pullman as well, because Pullman had a lot of good defensive plays tonight. I feel like he goes underappreciated because people are just like, oh, this contract's so bad. You look at what other teams are doing. I forgot there was one defenseman who had like literally like 2 points or something like that, and they like Buffalo or something signed him to a long deal. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's making me very mad. So yeah, I don't. People clown on the Pullman contract all they want. He was very effective tonight. He did get lost at one point, I noted, in the first, but he did it. He did it. He was very good defensively tonight. So I appreciate him. I appreciate Seth Jones. Not who I was thinking of. Not good Branson. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Buffalo. I was pretty sure it was like some rando. Like, it wasn't like some deal you've heard of. And it was recent too, but I don't exactly remember. Yes, glad to see those playing again. Hopefully Garland is back against Minnesota. Yeah, Samuelson. That's what it was. 7 years, 30 mil. That's what it was. Thank you to the chat saying that. Samuelson. Yes. Yep. Seth Jones and Darnell Nurse are the worst D contracts. I'm gonna say Drew Doughty's up there too. I'm gonna say it. Yeah. Hopefully Burroughs is okay after, an attempt with his neck. That was, for those audio listeners out there, love you to death, but I attempted to make a slicing noise. Not sure if that is heard through my mic, though apparently my annoying little dog is. So yeah, that's Harrison. He's small and loud. Erik Karlsson. Oh god, don't talk about Erik Karlsson with me. Speaking of Erik Karlsson, I wonder how that Ottawa game ended, because that seemed like hell. Good luck, game over Ottawa. Anyway, before I get into the next little topic here, I just want to take a quick second. Like the video down below, please. Rate the show on whatever source you're using to listen to it, and subscribe down below as well. Helps a ton, and we'd love to see you guys come back and watch the show and react to this team as they hopefully get more points than one. 6-4 Ottawa? I thought it was 6-5. Anyway, enough talking about Ottawa. That's the other people's job. I want to talk a little bit. 7-5. Okay, that game's insane. I want to talk a little bit about the reffing tonight, which I went on scouting the refs. Amazing, amazing website. Amazing. Love them. Love the work they do. And I was actually excited to see that Wes McCauley was our ref for tonight. And they ran out of beer. That wouldn't happen here. There's like so many beer places in the Lower Mainland. It's actually insane. Like, you will drive 10 minutes and there'll be one. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, refs were interesting tonight. Wes McCauley, one of the refs, I was very excited. Also very excited when Luke Shen dropped the gloves with Olivier. I was so excited because I was like, yes, Luke Shen is fighting someone. I love Luke Shen so much. Like, I am Luke Shen Defense Club president. Okay. He is amazing. But he fights him. He starts the fight strong, eventually goes down, but it was kind of a wrestling match between the two. And the Wes McCauley fighting call, heart emoji, that literally says what my notes say is Wes McCauley fighting call, heart emoji in all caps. That's just what it says. But I did 5 minutes each for fighting. Is Dermot still on the Canucks? Yes, he is injured. Believe with a possible concussion. There were a few interesting ref decisions, I will say, tonight. Yeah, so, like I said before, Dakota Joshua taken down against the boards. Lazar came in to help, and there were, like, 2 Columbus players kind of going in there as well. I don't exactly remember who. But out of it, Lazar is the only one who gets a penalty. Even, like, Spencer Martin was confused. He was heading to the bench because he thought that the penalty being called was, on Columbus. So he was like, okay, delayed penalty, let's go to the bench. No, your team got penalized, Spencer. How do you feel about that? It sounds like I'm saying like it's his fault. It's not his fault. He's the guy who gave us a point. He's undefeated in regulation, and I still think that is incredible. I saw him last year, when Demko went down near the end of the season, and he played those last couple home games. I saw him against Seattle and against, what was the last game? LA. He was very good. Yeah, it was a little odd. I was like, why does Lazar get the only one? Because he was going in to defend another guy, but, you know, whatever. That's them doing their job. I want to take a moment to talk about, so the second power play. Just wanted to mention. The second power play. So, it happens because there was a slide tackle on Mikheyev. Because, Blankenberg decides, oh yeah, we're just gonna play soccer for a second, and whoop. He wasn't the only, he wasn't the only soccer player on the ice tonight, though, because apparently Lazar, he lost his stick, and then, went and started playing soccer. But anyway, Mikheyev got slide tackled, that whole debacle, that's not great. Which, of course, because, you know, like, you can get hurt doing that. Ow, that'll hurt. Don't do that. And then second power play happens. 2 Canucks are taken down on the faceoff. I believe it was Kuzmenko, and can we get your best? We didn't win! Wait, do you want me to scream? Is that the impression because we lost? I enjoyed the soccer, yes. As a Whitecaps fan, enjoy the soccer. But that's the wrong sport. The Whitecaps season is over. We didn't make the playoffs. Who knows if we're gonna make the playoffs with this team? Yeah. Anyway, power play 2. 2 Canucks are taken down on the face-off. Miller and Kuzmenko. No calls made, even though, like, probably should have been. And then, after that, Hughes, I guess he just got a little angry, and he decides to check Jack Roslovic, who promptly falls to the ice. Roslovic is an elite diver. Yeah, I don't know, he's just over-dramatic. Based on the last name, I can assume he's Eastern European, and as someone who is also Eastern European, we enjoy the dramatics. So, I don't know. Yeah, it was an interesting thing. I do think Hughes, like, he hit him, but I'm like, did he hit him that hard? Like, come on. It's Quinn Hughes. Yeah. Columbus was a bunch of slippery little guys. And then it was Nyquist who was complaining about Martin diving or whatever. It's like, Martin dove. You went into the crease to check him. You went into the crease to check. That's like breaking into somebody's home, slapping them, and it's just like, at the slapping them, but they fall over. And then it's like, oh, well, he just dived. Okay, but like, I'm from BC, but my dad's from Eastern Europe, so like he could have like relatives or yeah. They penalized Huggy for backing that ass up. No, I get it. Sport butts are cool. If this is how the NHL is planning on growing the game, sure, go for it. But I don't think this is in Gary Bettman's plan. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe the Canucks lost tonight is in his plan anyway. Yeah. I don't know where my analogy was going. I was so good in English 12, and then that all just took a nosedive. Oh, gosh. Anyway. I will talk about, I just want to get some thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on the defense situation and in the Canucks? Because I understand Miller's thin blue line hat, but I feel like that's more relative to how he plays versus the political ideology. As soon as the Canucks were up 2-0, I knew we were screwed. Yeah, like, I used to be happy when we got leads, and now I just sit there and panic. Like, I have anxiety. I'm pretty good. Like, I don't struggle with anxiety. I'm actually really, really good at it. Wait, we have defense? Apparently. Hurst to say but Huggy had a bad game. Yeah, he was not great. Do you want John Tavares in your Vancouver Canucks, yes or no? Why is a Bruins fan asking me if we want John Tavares? Is Kyle Dubas' burner in chat? I need to know. No, yeah. Hughes did not have a great game. He didn't have a great game. I'm going to say that. Not great. Vowing to never say a bad word about Myers again. Yeah, I used to be like, Tyler, why did you do that? And now I'm like, Tyler, you are the only thing stopping me from breaking down. Like, yeah, I don't know. I made a note at the beginning of the third. I thought it was funny. Okay, I get it, you're defending the lead, but also that doesn't mean you don't need to offense. But apparently, they just, like, forgot the defense too, which was fun. To get the lead again when Horvat scored off his shin pad. That was the first Canucks goal in a third period. The entire season so far. So, That's great. Myers had a solid return in my opinion, for Myers. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? He doesn't It's Tyler Myers. He doesn't need to score a hat trick in his first game back. He needs to be a solid defensive rock for the Vancouver Canucks, and that's what he was tonight. That's what he was. Like, we needed more defense. He provided the more defense. Mikheyev provided more speed by coming into the game. But we fell short in a couple areas. Specifically, Quinn Hughes deciding to go swimming on solid water. Bo Horvat for Rasmus Ristolainen confirmed. Ew. We should just trail until close to the end of the thirds, then we'll somehow win. Honestly, I could see that being a possibility. I wonder, because this whole thing was hanging, this whole, like, dark cloud was hanging. Oh, they had a players only meeting game. Guys, they had a players only meeting game. Like, that's so bad. That's so bad. Only 3 games into the season. There's 3 games. They could have been playing Cards Against Humanity. I'm joking. They probably talked about the fact that they were 0-3, but they could have. They could have. I don't not like Boston. But I don't know. That's a cool logo that you have, by the way. Personally would have scratched Pearson. He's been invisible. I think Pearson was pretty good tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I do think Pearson he gets more shit than he should. I do think he is pretty good for, plugging into the team, but also Garland is as well. So I do think it was a bad decision kind of to scratch Garland, especially against Columbus, because they're slippery little guys. I've mentioned it. They're slippery little guys. We should riot. Okay. I love bringing back history, Don't you just love history? Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Vasily Podkolzin because, oh my god, did you see that hit at the end of the third? That was insane. That was insane. The risky, tall, offensive guy. Yeah. I think he seems more committed to... It's weird to say that he's grown up, considering he's, probably over 10 years older than me. Pearson and Bo look really good together. Yeah. Yeah, I do think they look really good together. He's like Kerfoot. Yeah, he's like Kerfoot's an everything guy, Pearson's an everything guy. Garland and Pods, yeah, I thought their line was weird with Horvat. If I'm being honest, I do think they should keep Pearson and Bo together, and I think they should keep Garland and Pods together, but I don't know. It's very difficult trying to get everyone in together in lines that work. I do think the lines worked tonight. I did have, at the beginning, I had somewhat of an issue with the Miller, Mikheyev, Kuzmenko line, because I thought Miller was, a little too slow to match those guys, but I don't know. I guess they're trying to make the most of 56 million. Another thing I didn't like about tonight, the digital board signs suck. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. I want to see the ads for Columbus. Would you trade Connor Garland to Boston for Jake DeBrusk? No. No, I love my silly little man who has scored a goal off of the puck coming off of his eyebrow and has had his helmet bowled at him by Nathan McKinnon. Both those happened while he was in Arizona, but they both count. Yeah. Congrats to Petey for hitting 100 goals. That is amazing. I was so surprised he wasn't. Where our penalty kill at the beginning of the game was tied for last in the NHL. So that's great. And you know what? We could go on to earn 103 points. We just might. It could just be an off beginning. Yeah? And they're still waiting for Bruce to hit 600 wins. Because that's still a thing that needs to happen. Yeah, they teased it, I'm pretty sure, with the Washington game, too. I think Sportsnet had it, and they're like, oh, we're trying to get Boudreaux to 600 wins. And then it didn't happen last night. Didn't happen tonight. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I think a couple times I wrote, this team is going to give me a stroke. Yeah, I wrote, all I know is pain. Pearson, oh yeah, he was good tonight occasionally, but he did have those 2 big giveaways in the third. Hoglander, yeah, honestly, scratch Hogs, put Garland in. Like, put Garland on that line with Pods and PD, because if you want to keep Pods and PD together, or Pods and Garly together, then just put PD in the middle with them. Because I feel like that would work pretty well, because yeah, Hoglander has not had a great time. Like, I'm not saying I don't like him, but he's not had a great start to the season. And I understand he missed a lot of the end of last year due to injuries, but at the same time, you're still trying to gauge what his potential is in the NHL, and that hasn't exactly happened yet at a judgeable scale. Because, yeah, he misses a wide open net because he couldn't get the puck in the proper positioning. And then Gaudreau tied it to make it 3-3, leading to overtime. Yeah, on a positive note, I'm gonna go on a positive note, because I need to end the show here super quick. On a positive note, PD has been very good. He's been very solid. He's probably been kind of what Miller was last year. Like, always, they're always out there, always ready to support the team, because you know how Miller was like, Miller got to 99 points, even though the Canucks were terrible for the first time of 25 games. Even though the Canucks may be down for a while. They might be down for a few games. You know, you never know. You never know. There's 82 games in a season. Who knows what happens? Montreal's in 16th, and they're supposed to be on Bedard watch, okay? There are going to be players that kind of stand out as the saviors of the season. Miller was last year. I do think it'll be Pettersson this year. If everything goes to plan, it'll be PD this year. And that's how I'm going to end it. Hope to see you guys again soon. OEL Myers. Yep, sorry, I'm just going to shout out them again. OEL Myers. Love that pairing. Always loved that pairing. That's, yeah. I understand you probably, I was just like, oh, yeah, no. 100, you need 100%. Like, you need Quinn on the top D-line. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Who knows if we're still going to have Myers. I think his contract ends this year or next year. I should know this. His contract ends next year. Quinn Hughes' and OEL's goes for forever. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting ride. We still have 78 games. Hope we get to cover a W soon. Thank you. I do too. Yes, hope to see you guys again soon. I will be back on Thursday for Benny, but it will be Clay. Clay will be hosting that night. So yes, thank you for watching. Have a great night. Subscribe down below, and I